effective strategy early on. But what happens when people figure out that ONIC is doing this? What happens then, right? So I think GEEK FAM needs to pick up on that sooner than later, or even any other team facing ONIC here on end.
Yeah.
I think it's also like a lot harder to execute, like finding that out and adjusting within game, because as casters, we see the whole map. When you're playing, you're looking in front of you, and there's fog as well. There's fog of war. You're not gonna be able to see the whole map, so you're not gonna be able to adjust, even if you know it's happening. That's what makes ONIC PH so good at what they're doing, because like you said earlier, the lane equilibrium. When it pushes out in favor of you, you have to defend or your turrets will take damage, and this is when they pounce and take the other objectives across the map. It is just picture perfect for them, I feel.
Yeah. Now let's head into the draft. I think that what on how ONIC PH wins, it's also kind of hinged onto the draft, but in a way that it's incredibly hard to play against ONIC PH, or at least draft against ONIC PH, because they kind of play with their own strategies almost always. If you look back MPL Season 4, when they were successful, when they were also undefeated, they still run the Harith when Harith was not cool anymore, or they run Lunox when Lunox was not cool anymore. ONIC PH, I'm not sure what they can bring up, but they did first pick the Uranus this time. Now GEEK FAM PH going back to the Esmeralda. And last update before I ask you what you think about this, Curtizi is not going to be able to play. Now that means Geo is in for GEEK FAM PH. Now, Leo, what do you think about the opening picks here for both ONIC PH and GEEK FAM?
I think it's more the bans that kind of spell out what's going on. ONIC PH, look at this. They're getting rid of the heroes that have uncontested vision. You've got the wards from Selena, out. You've got Natalia's invisibility, out. So this is like the active ban action, like on overdrive. They're obviously putting their cards out on the table and saying, we don't like this because what we're trying to do won't allow for the strategy we want if you have this on your side. So they're getting rid of that, which opened up the early Uranus. It's a safe pick, to be honest. There's so many other heroes out there that should be prioritized, but for ONIC PH, it's safe because Uranus does one thing and one thing very well. He's not a tank, ladies and gentlemen. Don't think that he's ever a tank. So this being right here, they're I think telegraphing the elevator door strategy, because you can leave Uranus or he can be part of the 4-1 or the 4 in the middle. Yeah. So either way.
It's about for Swirly. Here's the thing: ONIC PH, they kind of look like they are gonna do the same thing. GEEK FAM PH. There's some adjustment with Valir, with Jawhead. But do we like this so far? Is this the right way to go if you're GEEK FAM PH now dealing against the ONIC PH for game number 2?
I feel like GEEK FAM are like playing it safely, but I don't like it in this situation because they're playing heroes that aren't really super effective. Valir has fallen off, especially with Flame Shot getting nerfed. Jawhead, sure, it's okay. Esmeralda, a niche pick at best. And right now, sure, I feel like even just the Uranus is gonna be a problem for them. Like, how are they gonna get through that Uranus right now with their draft? They still have to find the answer.
Alright. So maybe the wow. Okay, Harith ban. This is something that okay. This is weird. I am not sure if Harith is one of the more viable heroes out there. Now, ONIC PH, they will go back to the classic Kaja and Farsa, so it seems, which means that this is going to be definitely a sideline show. Farsa might be support, or I don't know actually. But yeah, Leo, with the closing picks for ONIC and GEEK FAM, what do you think is going to transpire?
It's not gonna be the Kaja, it's gonna be Atlas, and I was gonna say, if they pick that Kaja, they would be very soft up front. Again, Uranus, not a dedicated tank, ladies and gentlemen, so they really need one up front, and if that was the Kaja, they wouldn't have a solid front line. So the Atlas pick here, very solid, and it enables the strategy that ONIC is going for. They covered all bases. I'm liking it so far. But GEEK Fam though, they need that carry. That's right. They were gonna go for the Granger, but again, Granger falling off. Bruno is solid. Maybe carry. What do you guys think? Bruno or carry?
Well, they
Bruno,
pick the Bruno right now against
answered it
Uranus. Uranus gets the stacks when you hit him with his Radiance passive. So, like, even Bruno is actually doesn't do too well against the Uranus, in my opinion, unless it's super late game. But as long as it's still the mid to early game, that Bruno is not gonna be able to do anything against that Uranus.
Does this mean that you're gonna go with ONIC PH with your predictions, Warley?
Yes. ONIC
Okay,
PH. Even if they don't have that Sicilian, they have the Atlas though, and stats don't lie. Very high win rate on Atlas right now.
Yeah, Leo, very quickly, what's your prediction? Who do you think is gonna win?
I'm going for MPL royalty. Show me what you got, Kingmaker and Queen. Let's go, ONIC PH.
Let's go, ONIC PH. There's another unanimous decision from the panel. Let's see what Rockhart and Seiya has got to say for this game number 2.
I like how they're really dedicated on this Kingmaker bit here, but I gotta say, it does have its basis, right? And then welcome back here for game 2 here of ONIC PH versus GEEK FAM PH. I'm Rockhart, this is Seiya. So, Seiya, what's gonna be the call here? Do you think they might turn this around here with, I would say GEEK FAM, they drafted a little better this time.
Yes, indeed. But I would agree on when Swarley said that Bruno is really effective come the late game. But you know what? We are really known. It's already known that ONIC PH is very recognized by this early game potential, and they really will do everything they can so that it won't really reach that mark. But you know what? This is our game between ONIC PH and GEEK FAM PH. And again, like what our panelists say, yes, indeed, GEEK FAM PH has a more fundamental lineup, but I will be agreeing with them and siding with ONIC PH all the way, simply because their composition is all the more versatile.
Yeah, that's true. Again, more meta or fundamental doesn't usually mean that it's better, right? But we still have to wait and see if it's going to be executed well. I gotta say, if you want the early game power, Farsa is great to take it.
Yeah.
Same with the Atlas, really super tough on the early game, and they can do invades like this. Will we see the elevator door line up once more? Will they do that parting of the Red Sea like the panel described? Because I think they do have the tools to pull it off as well. Although it's getting mirrored here by GEEK FAM on the other side.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, because basically the overall composition of ONIC PH really complements each other. Let's say you have that link onto the Atlas right there, and Farsa can just easily give you that ton of damage with the help of her skill set as well. But not just Farsa alone. We have Wise for the Blazing Duet, so it kind of gives you the rhythm and blues for the side of ONIC PH. But you know, it really depends if they are able to execute this as picture perfect as they did during game number 1.
All right, we'll have to wait and see how well Wise handles the pressure of being the biggest damage dealer here. I feel like Venus has been taking that up with the Sicilian recently. This time around, of course, Wise will need to step it up. And on the bottom side, Dealer are getting a lot of pressure as well. But again, the rest of the composition of GEEK FAM PH is usually good in the early to mid game. With of course, Valier with this flickering jawhead way back into the tower, and the good pass there by Exhort, juggling the tower aggro, and the first blood to GEEK FAM.
But you know what? Farsa will be getting a kill for herself, and that is not going to stop ONIC PH from getting deterred. And again, here, going back, you are seeing this early game aggression from OMI Venus and Fuzaken and company onto the 8 right here. Looks like they will be having another tower dive. Will be throwing away. Why not? But you know what? Farsa here is going to rescue and save Kuzaken to safety. And Claude will just go for that beautiful cleanup. And they're not done. They will be getting that double kill and killing Jawhead back to the base. I told you.
I gotta say, that last exchange was super mechanically intensive. You have to dodge, you have to flicker, and then wipe. You saw Oh My Venus, she flickered in with the Farsa, and then just without anyone there. So it's scary that they are, I don't know, they're kind of startling each other. But it's so fun to watch this game between ONIC and GEEK FAM.
Oh yes, definitely. And you know what? Going back right here, they're just showing off some dominance right here. And they don't really mind about getting hit by the turrets, especially earlier, because you know that it would be beneficial for them because during that tower dive on the bottom side to really kill if I'm not mistaken, Uranus was the one who got picked off on the bottom. But you know, they invested a lot of skills on him. So that leaves an open door for the other members of ONIC PH. And speaking of open doors, Fars is just going all out here.
Yeah, and the Yaknu as well, dipping and diving into the battle, trying to pick up some targets. But top lane is where it's gonna be. Yeah, because we got the rest of ONIC PH, D-Lar, and of course Wise getting a lot more resources into this Claude, which is working out very well in ONIC PH's favor. So that's a lot of kills and 2 towers in favor of the blue.
Definitely, the kings and queens really building their empire here as they create a map control slowly but surely. And this is really working on their favors because they know the discipline, they know the transitions, and all they have to do is just really complement each other with the skill sets that they have, which is initially, it's not just happening on paper, but they're really executing this in a manner to their advantage. And speaking of advantage, this is just all throughout. This could be, this is not as torturing as game 1 was. The fact that they have 1 kill on the side of GEEK FAM, but the thing is, you can't really neglect the overall dominance, and this is might be a potential snowball game for ONIC PH.
Yeah, because I'm seeing a little bit of a trend where we're at 5 minutes and they're already at 5k gold lead, just like almost last game. Pretty similar in terms of timing. So ONIC, they have this mechanism that they just keep going and going, and the plan is always going on their favor for 90% of the time, and they're making it work just like that. So can GEEK FAM PH stop the rampage here? Because top lane, another kill goes and bites the dust.
Definitely, the Blazing Duet will be used to really shove away the members of GEEK FAM, just so that ONIC PH can have a more proper footing in terms of really getting all of these towers and getting, up, you know, to really stabilize and, you know, really embark the pressure to GEEK FAM here. And they are doing it pretty well and in a timely manner wherein it's not necessarily needed to be rushed, but it's in a pace where they can control.
Yeah, I mean, at this pace, they can just push up slowly, and Wise is getting all the space he needs. He's not even scared to do stuff like that. Near a Jawhead, near a Grok, and you're just going up in front. Right, that's just so scary. But Wise is just not afraid because such confidence with his teammates.
You can tell that the queen is very angry right now, and with that damage output, you can see it on Rampage. And you know what? Alongside, if they have a king and queen, they have the remaining members as their knights to protect them. And that is what we're seeing right now, ladies and gents. Fars are just really going all out with the beautiful distance and the beautiful power spikes. It just goes to show that ONIC PH is embarking and making the Empire into the favors of them, and Wise here just beautifully getting that free hits and inflicting damage against GEEK FAM.
Yeah. Oh My Venus is like, support Farsa panel, 6-0 free. Why don't you take that? Right? So Farsa's Oh My Venus is really going nuts here. Always so safe on the back line, and everyone doing the heavy work. Whoa! Fatal Links for days wipes out GEEK FAM. Oh my gosh! The humanity! Oh,
The
ONIC PH
horror.
wiping
horror
out
of-
Geek Fam.
ONIC PH's empire right here, Rocker. That was picture perfect. You know, really compiling the members of Geek Fam, followed by the blazing duet of Claude, and then you go for Oh My Venus, just cleaning them up with the distance that she can cover. Man, Rockhart, I have no more words, and this is the replay right now. You see that the Atlas already
Oh
has
my
fatal
God.
hit. Claude with that blazing duet,
Why?
Uranus with that overall empathy, and finally finishing it off with Farsa's skill set. That was beautiful indeed.
Yeah, it's beautiful and painful to watch at the same time. I feel like oh my god, seriously though, the goal lead is massive at 8 minutes. We're already at 10,000. Itemization is fierce. All, of course, in favor of our Claude, who has gotten the turtle right now. Everyone here in ONIC is waiting. Here comes a blazing duet. Everyone's super low. Oh My Venus cleans it up once more. 806 on the Farsa, and Wise cleaning up house on the back end. Why not run for the hills? You gotta make it out. But looks like that's not gonna be the case. One more for the Claude.
Because of the positioning of Geek Fam right now, this leaves ONIC PH a very open allowance to just really go all out. Take note that the bottom is exposed, but 2 members of Geek Fam is alive, will be trying their best to defend, and Esmeralda is there to really just distract him. But you know, that's not really enough because of the damage output that Claude is just inflicting onto Jawhead and Gronk. And this is just surreal, and you know what? This is just Wise buying time so that the other members can go to the aid.
Okay, bit of a misstep there. I guess the Esmeralda distraction really paid off. It left the Claude alone for a humongous amount of time, but still able to make a push using the minions, and of course just using their full-on tankiness. And what's DLR doing? Just really going ham on the front line here. No one's doing the damage. Oh My Venus just recovering here, and looks like the barrage of skill is gonna be enough to push back right in time. The battle's still raging on, and they don't want to stop, Saya.
Yes, they do not. But you know what? Geek Fam really has to put in a lot of footing right here because you can't neglect Farsa's damage output that is really hitting them. It's really surreal. It's let's say, you know, out of this, very lethal, like, per se. And now I think ONIC PH can just really take the time here, but not so much as to Geek Fam can still have that opening to really go and scale. And I'm pretty sure ONIC PH won't allow that to happen because right now, if you're seeing, the pressure is on.
Yeah, the pressure is still on non-stop. They are not putting a pause on it as well. Wise is already back from the grave, ready to go for the damage output. Blazing Duet is still available, now released. It is done. I think that will be it. Geek Fam PH tried to clean up, but they got demolished on the defense, and looks like that is going to be the last tower down. Oh My Venus with the flourish, padding the KDA, but not anymore. Finishing off with a 2-0, ONIC PH comes out on top.